Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 21st of February. Bhutan PM seeks Modi's mentorship for public sector transformation at Seoul Conclave. Amid diplomatic efforts, Jaishankar meets Chinese counterpart Wang on sidelines of G20 event. And Bangladesh pays tribute to the heroes of the historic language movement. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while inaugurating the first edition of the Seoul Leadership Conclave in New Delhi, hailed the establishment of the School of Ultimate Leadership as a step towards becoming the soul of India's social life. Bhutan PM Tshering Tobgay was also present with the Prime Minister on the occasion. While speaking at the event, PM Modi said that some events are very close to the heart, and today's program is one of them. He emphasized that for nation building, the development of better citizens is essential. Tobgay, while speaking at the event, referred to PM Modi as his mentor and elder brother and said that he is inspired to work even harder as a public servant when he meets him. He further said that he has come here as a student and is excited to learn about leadership from PM Modi. The two-day Seoul Leadership Conclave from February 21st to February 22nd will serve as a premier platform where leaders from diverse domains like politics, sports, arts and media, the spiritual world, public policy, business and the social sector will share their inspiring life journeys and discuss aspects relating to leadership.
The School of Ultimate Leadership is the brainchild of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, and it is yet another testament to the Prime Minister's unwavering commitment to nurturing authentic leaders and empowering them to serve the great Republic of India. I extend my gratitude to Seoul for inviting me here today. It is an honor to be part of the inaugural Leadership Conclave, a momentous occasion that will pave the way for many generations of capable public servants and leaders.
साथियों, कुछ आयोजन ऐसे होते हैं जो हृदय के बहुत करीब होते हैं, और आज का ये कार्यक्रम भी ऐसा ही है। नेशन बिल्डिंग के लिए बेहतर सिटीजन्स का डेवलपमेंट जरूरी है। व्यक्ति निर्माण से राष्ट्र निर्माण, जन से जगत, जन से जग, ये किसी भी ऊंचाई को प्राप्त करना है, विशालता को पाना है, तो आरंभ जन से ही शुरू होता है।
And Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Friday met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in South Africa's Johannesburg. Jaishankar is in Johannesburg on a two-day visit to South Africa to participate in the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting. In a post on X, Jaishankar said that G20 Foreign Ministers meeting has provided an opportunity to meet Communist Party of China Politburo and Foreign Minister Wang Yi of China this morning on its sidelines. The meeting comes amid ongoing diplomatic efforts between India and China to address bilateral issues and regional challenges. As the premier forum for international economic cooperation, the G20 plays a critical role in steering the global economy through the significant challenges it faces. Jaishankar earlier also met Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and reviewed the ongoing progress of India-Russia bilateral cooperation and discussed recent developments concerning the Ukraine conflict, including Lavrov's meeting in Riyadh. Jaishankar's engagement with Lavrov comes at a time when global discussions around a resolution to the Ukraine war are intensifying. While India has consistently called for dialogue and diplomacy, Russia has been engaged in talks with various stakeholders, including recent meetings in Saudi Arabia. Moving on, India's central Madhya Pradesh state is all set to host the highly anticipated Invest MP Global Investor Summit 2025, which is scheduled from the 24th of February to the 25th of February in the capital city Bhopal. With preparations now in the final stages, the city has been transformed into a vibrant hub of innovation, culture and opportunity. The streets of the capital city have been renovated along with addition of artistic designs, colorful paintings and stunning decor at prominent squares in the city. According to an official release, the distinguished guest list is nearly finalized, with entrepreneurs from 60 countries invited to explore the immense investment potential of Madhya Pradesh. The summit is expected to be attended by 13 ambassadors, 6 high commissioners and several consuls general from key strategic nations, making it a significant event for global investment and collaboration.
देखिए, जब हमने रीजनल में 4 लाख से ज़्यादा करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट हमारे पास आया है और 3 लाख से ज़्यादा रोज़गार के तो उसी में अवसर आ गए। तो चूँकि ग्लोबल हो रही है और ग्लोबल के लिए हमने यूके, जापान, जर्मनी, अपने देश के भी कई राज्यों में संपर्क हुआ और जिस प्रकार से रीजनल में बड़े पैमाने पर निवेशक आए हैं और 30,000 से ज़्यादा तो अभी पंजीयन हो गया है और 18,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों ने कन्फर्मेशन दे दी है।
Moving on. As Ramadan is around the corner, the sharp rise in inflation across Pakistan has left many families struggling to make ends meet. Essential goods have become more expensive, with traders exploiting the holy month by raising prices, putting immense financial strain on ordinary citizens. A report.
In many Islamic nations, as well as in non-Muslim countries with significant Muslim populations, special provisions are made to facilitate fasting during Ramadan. Governments and charitable organizations collaborate to provide essential goods at discounted prices, easing the burden on families during this sacred time. However, the situation in Pakistan's Karachi is markedly different. As Ramadan approaches, Pakistan is grappling with a sharp rise in inflation, driving up the cost of essential commodities and making it increasingly difficult for ordinary citizens to make ends meet. Instead of offering relief to the public during this holy month, traders, particularly in major cities like Karachi, are significantly raising prices.
दुनिया में क्रिश्चियन, यूरोप में हिंदू बरादरी भी इंडिया में पैसे कम करती है और यहाँ के ताजिर लोगों को लूटने के लिए महंगाई की इंतहा पर चले जाते हैं। ताजिर बरादरी जो है वो मुल्क को चाटने में पाकिस्तान के सियासतदानों की तरह इन्वॉल्व है। वो मुल्क को खा रहे हैं, जैसे सियासतदान जो है ना अपने खर्चे पूरे करने के लिए पब्लिक पर बोझ डालते हैं।
In a country where a significant portion of the population lives paycheck to paycheck, the rising costs of essential goods have placed a considerable burden on families that were already living on the edge. For many, even meeting their basic transportation needs has become an overwhelming challenge. What makes the situation even more dire is the growing inability to afford essential festive items for the holy month, such as special foods, new clothes, or even basic gifts. The situation in Pakistan is a reflection of deeper issues that have plagued the country for years: rampant inflation, mismanagement, and corruption.
तो हर कोई अपने बचत के चक्कर में लगा हुआ है। महंगाई तो वैसे ही इस टाइम आसमान पे है और जब रमज़ान आ जाएगा तो और चीज़ें फिर महंगी आ जाएगी। आपको तो पता है, वरना रमज़ान में स्पेशल इनको पैकेजेस देने चाहिए बीइंग अ मुस्लिम कंट्री के हवाले से, मगर यहाँ पे चीज़ें और ज़्यादा डबल हो जाती हैं। भाई अल्लाह खैर करे बस।
And thousands of people on Friday paid their tribute to those who laid down their lives during the historic language movement at the Central Shaheed Minar in Bangladesh's capital, Dhaka. Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin and Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus paid tribute to them by placing wreaths at the Central Shaheed Minar to mark International Mother Language Day. The 1952 Bengali language movement was a political protest in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, to establish Bengali as an official language. UNESCO declared February 21st as International Mother Language Day in 1999. It was approved at the 1999 UNESCO General Conference and has been observed throughout the world since 2000. Moving on. A group of 15 Indian fishermen who were repatriated from Sri Lanka arrived in Chennai on Thursday evening, officials said. They will now be sent to their respective homes. On February 7th, opposition MPs from Tamil Nadu staged a protest at the premises of the parliament, demanding the return of Indian fishermen detained by Sri Lankan forces. The parliamentarians held banners and raised slogans over their demand at the premises. The prolonged dispute over fishing rights has been a source of tension between India and Sri Lanka for many years, as they share an expansive oceanic border without any perceptible demarcation. Fishermen from both sides frequently stray into each other's territory while netting their catch and end up spending years in jails. Last year alone, over 530 Indian fishermen were arrested. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.